Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy, Simeon Russell, coming at you with nothing but Knicks. Let's get into a little bit of Knicks scuttlebutt, rumors, trade talks, prospects. Let's rock. What's poppin', people? I'm chilling. Hopefully you chilling. I had a good weekend. Hopefully you had a good weekend. And we're here to talk New York Knicks. I guess we could touch on the NBA Finals quickly. You know, I think Cleveland is done. You know, what I expected to happen tonight happened tonight. That first game, that was their biggest punch. You know what I'm saying? That was their biggest punch. They landed it. But the Warriors got back up. And they hit them with a haymaker. They had their chance. And I don't think they have enough in them. You know what I'm saying? Just dope. Mighty Knicks, appreciate the super chat. Said it's your favorite show. I appreciate that, my brother. Appreciate it for sure. I just don't think Cleveland, even if they get a game, I think they'll get a game. Listen, they got to get game 3. If they don't get game 3, it might be a sweep. If they don't get game 3, it might be a sweep. Word up. You know, I mean, game 3, let's put it like this. They get game 3, then they can tell themselves, hey, somebody had to be up 2-1, right? If they can get game 3, then they can tell themselves that. But they got to go out and get game 3. You know, I think Jeff Van Gundy said they're 8-1 at home in the playoffs. They lost that first game to the Pacers. 8-1 at home, and we'll see if they can they keep that? Can they keep that record up? Can they go 9-1, 10-1 at home over the next 2 games? I'm not sure it's going to be possible because Golden State just has too much firepower. Cleveland needs to be clicking on all cylinders in order to beat Golden State. People don't shoot well enough with the Cleveland Cavaliers. You know what I mean? Just don't shoot well enough. Guys have wide open threes and they don't knock them down. I guess we shouldn't expect them to knock them down at the rate that the Golden State is going to knock them down. But man, you got to hit some of them. You got to do something. You know what I mean? You got to hit something. And they just don't have the firepower. You know what I mean? Siobhan, you said after watching Curry tonight, I wouldn't mind Young. So I guess you believe that Young will be Curry or be like Curry. I've been paying attention and reading a little bit about Trae Young. Now, we're going to talk about him in a minute. You know what I mean? Yeah, but I feel what you're saying a little bit. I get it. You know what I mean? To have a guy like that, and, you know, Trae Young can definitely hit it. Is he Curry? Probably not. I guess it's remained to be seen who he is. You know what I mean? But we got some news. We'll talk about him in a minute. You know, but, man. I don't know. I'm rooting for the Cavs. Believe it or not. I'm rooting for the Cavs. Even though I do not like LeBron James, I just like to see the underdog win. You know what I mean? And I'd like to see the Cavs knock Golden State off, especially, listen, I don't like LeBron James, as well documented throughout these videos that I do. But I do like to witness history, and I am a basketball fan. You know what I mean? And I'd like to see LeBron pull off what most people, including myself, feel is the impossible, just to witness it. But I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it will happen. You know, I don't think it can happen. And it's just, I mean, just so many little things that I see Cleveland do that I'm like, I mean, it just kind of befuddles me a little bit. Like Steph Curry, and I know it's easier said than done, right? But Steph Curry, he has this play that he does, or that the Warriors do. He throws the ball to the wing, runs down to the corner. They kick it to him in the corner, he knocks down the three. He does it relentlessly. And for whatever reason, the Cavaliers, and maybe I guess it's probably not just the Cavaliers, but they can't catch on to that play. And it's the simplest of plays. You throw it, you pass it to the wing, cuts down to the corner. I guess, his cuts are so sharp and so quick, maybe they can't keep up with him. They usually do it off of a switch. I will say that. A couple times he did it tonight. He had Larry Nance Jr. on him. He had Kevin Love on him, and they couldn't keep up with him cutting to the corner. Steph Curry is ridiculous, though. I'll give it to him. The kid is ridiculous with his. Sometimes his shot selection really upsets me. You know what I'm saying? But, he knocks it out, so I can't complain too much. Can't complain too much. Because that's what Steph Curry does. Steph Curry does what he does. And he does it well. He does it well. So, let's talk about Trae Young. Right? Let's talk about him. Because I'm pretty sure everyone is aware that Trae Young is going to work out for the Knicks on Tuesday. He posted that he's on his way to New York. Right? Posting on Instagram or whatever that he's on his way to New York. How do you guys feel about it? Listen, I'm on record as saying that I want a wing. I don't think that I'm going to back down from it. Unless somebody is just so astronomically good that you just cannot can't deny that person. Is he that? I don't know. Is he that guy? I don't think he's that guy. I'm sure that some people do. I'm sure some people think that he is that guy that's, he's that next star. He seems to think that he's that next star. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe he is. And here he is. This is from Tommy Beer. His Trae Young's Instagram post on his way to New York, reportedly meeting with and working for the Knicks early next week. And it's not reportedly any longer. It is. Daniel Watkins, thank you for the super chat. He said, appreciate your passion. Talk about the Knicks. I love the New York Knicks, man. The New York Knicks, honestly, to tell you the truth, man, regardless of what's ever happened with the New York Knicks, they got me through a lot of rough times just being able to zone out and watch games and be with the New York Knicks. Yeah, I love the Knicks. But Trae Young is on his way to New York. Probably in New York right now. Get ready to work out for the Knicks on Tuesday. Should we do it? Obviously working out for him, working out for the team. There's nothing wrong with that. You got to turn over every stone. You got to see what's going on. You got to see who's there and start making up your mind from there. So you got to work him out if he's willing to give the Knicks a workout. Now, originally, he was not willing to give the Knicks a workout, or he wasn't sure if he was going to give the Knicks a workout. Obviously, somewhere along the line, he understands that he may fall or could fall to that 9th spot. So he wants to give the Knicks a workout. Right? Just in case. Or maybe he just wants to be in New York. He seems to be the kind of guy that has a big personality. The kind of guy that does not mind that kind of a spotlight. And realistically, that worries me a little bit. I don't know. I don't see him as being a very humble guy. I kind of like someone to be humble That's my opinion. But at the same time, you need guys that's not always humble. Sometimes those guys that aren't that humble are the guys that make it big. So, it's kind of what do you do there? I like guys to be humble and understand that everything is not, you got to work for what you want. And I'm not saying that he doesn't work for it. But he seems to have an outgoing and outlandish kind of personality, which leads me to believe that maybe he wouldn't mind being in that New York spotlight. Because if you get a guy, if the Knicks drafted him and he came to the Knicks and lit it up, the world would go crazy. New Yorkers would go crazy, first and foremost, right? And then, look at Jeremy Lin. Let's be real. Jeremy Lin had a few very, very good games in a row. And we went crazy over the dude and Linsanity and all this stuff because he had 7, 8 good games in a row, whatever it was. 2-3 weeks of, really good games. And, really good games for a guy who came off, was on the end of the bench, right? But we do that. We go crazy. And just imagine if he came in and he lit it up. We go crazy and think that he's going to be the best player. Think that, we'd hear MVP chants in the Garden. You know what I mean? After his third game or something crazy. And we declared that we would win an NBA championship. That's how we do. It's nothing wrong with it. It's cool. It's all right. That's how we do. But they say that Trae Young has put on, I think, 13 pounds over the last few weeks. He's been on a very strict training regimen where he's eating 5 strawberry banana smoothies a day. 5 strawberry banana protein smoothies per day. And of course, hitting the weights. Right. So right now, I think they said he weighs 183 pounds. He was 170. Now he weighs 183. Now, how long are they going to continue to put this kind of weight on? Not sure, but that's, so, okay. So now here we go. Trae Young weighed in at 170 pounds with 7.3% body fat before they began a 3 workout per day regimen and a drastic diet change. Last Wednesday, he tipped the scales at 183 pounds with 5.7% body fat. He gained 13 pounds of muscle, lost 2% body fat. They say he'll be between 185 and 188 pounds at training camp. That is impressive. I think that's very impressive. That does show me something about the kid. I'm not gonna lie. That shows me something about the kid. It tells me that he's willing to put in. He can be disciplined. You know what I mean? That he can be disciplined. That means something. That he can be disciplined when training. That means a lot. To gain that muscle and keep the body fat down. That means a lot. Because, he was 170. I seen someone just say 183 is way too small for someone his height. Well, 170. Imagine 170. 6'2", 170. That's small. That's even smaller. So he gained 13 pounds. He'll be up to 188 by by the time he gets to training camp. They say 185 to 188. And then now once you get into training camp and you start to play, you'll probably lose some of that weight. You lose some of that body fat. So, the weight will go down a little bit. Now, hey, what does Frank weigh? I see people saying you can't defend at 183 at 183 pounds, but what does Frank weigh? Frank is like 6'5", weighs 100 or weighed 180 pounds or whatever it was. Frank was small guy. Now, people say, you can't play at 183 pounds. I'm looking right now. Steph Curry weighs 190 pounds. Steph Curry's 6'4", I believe. Right? 6'4". I mean, if he's being compared, if he's being compared to Steph Curry, Steph Curry is 6'4", 6'3", 6'3", 6'3", 6'4", weighs 190 pounds. Okay? If Trae Young is 6'2" and weighs 188 pounds, I mean, that's it's not bad. That's okay. That's okay. It's not bad. So, who knows? Now, in the article that I was reading, and you can read this article as well. It talks about his mother. His mother's name is Candace, and she played basketball. I guess she was a defensive, defensive point guard. And apparently, in his article on New York Post, apparently she gets, and it's a pretty good article as well. Kind of goes into the history of him in Oklahoma, and his father really wanted him to go play with Coach Cal. He ended up staying in Oklahoma because he wanted to try to bring it back, and bring some excitement. So, he wants to be the man. He wants to be the star. That's very clear. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? He wants to be it. I don't know. I guess it depends on how you look at it. If it's a good thing or bad thing, how do you look at it? Do you see that as being good? Do you see that as being a positive? Or do you see it as he's going to be selfish? And I don't mean selfish as far as, not wanting to get assists and things like that, but selfish as far as the spotlight is concerned. You know what I mean? So, some good questions to consider. Some good questions to consider. And as I am considering those questions, my man, Who's Mark, is on the line. Who's Mark? What's popping with you, bro? Yeah, I can hear you, my man. I can hear you.
All right. Good win by my boy Steph Curry tonight. What's going on, chat?
What's up with you?
Listen, man. I tell ya, if that man drops to 9, man, you take the best talent.
If he drops to 9. Hey, hold on for a minute. Hold on for a minute, Mark. Let me pull this over, because a lot of people been asking for this for a long time, ever since you came on. Ever since you ever came on the line, they've been asking for this. So let me get this up. You looking into the camera?
All right, hold on. Let me get some light in my room, too.
Yeah, get some light in your room.
Hold on, man. Hold on, dog. Hold on.
Let's get some light in the room. But while we're doing that, we'll continue to talk about. We're gonna continue to talk about. Okay, I think we're ready. We're gonna continue to talk about Trae Young. All right, because the Knicks may have a decision to make. Right, the Knicks may have a decision to make at that point if he drops to 9. Let me say, I don't know. I don't know if he's going to drop to 9. You know what I mean? I think he probably does go to Orlando. You know what I mean? I still would like to get a wing. I don't know if he's the guy. I am impressed by the discipline that he has, the support that he has from his parents. You know what I mean? The support that he has from his parents to to be with him. You know what I mean? So he has good support because his father played professional basketball overseas, and those type of things. So he has good support. You know what I mean? So that's a positive. That's a good thing. And I know the Knicks have been asking around about him as well. So we'll see what's up. All right, ready? Mark, you ready? You ready, Mark? I can't hear you, my man. I think I lost you. I think I lost you. I think I lost the sound. Okay, I can hear it now.
All right.
There we go. There we go. My man, who's Mark, is in the building. What's popping with
good?
you, bro? What's happening with you, my man?
All right, man. I'm having a good night, you know.
All right, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Another little bro. I like that. How I play.
Yeah.
Listen, man, why don't we do that deal with Denver, right? Take on Fareed contract and take that 14 pick and get a wing right there. If Trae Young falls to 9.
Well, I mean, I think they would want to do it. I just think at this point, I don't know if we can. Because I think they want to move Fareed so that they can clear some cap space, right? I mean, they don't want him there, and they clear some cap space.
Comes up at the end of next year.
His contract is up at the end of next year, right?
Yeah.
So I'm saying his contract is up at the end of next year. I think they want to move him now so that they can free up money for this summer.
They want to sign Jokic. They want to sign Jokic, and if they sign Jokic, they're gonna have to pay. They're gonna have to pay way into the tax, and they don't want to do that.
Right. They don't want to do that.
I'm thinking, and listen, man, because they don't care. They're trying to get rid of it. So I think the Knicks should be in play for that. Take Fareed contract, take that 14th pick, get a wing out of there. But because listen, bro, it's just like we was a pick away from Steph Curry, bro. Steph Curry.
Right.
And at that time, no one had him being who he is right now. No one. And this kid, Trae Young, talent is just it's Nash-like. If you watch him a lot, it's not Curry. It's more like Nash because he dominates the ball more than Curry does. It's a lot like Nash, man. And Nash ain't as big as people think. He's small, just like Trae Young. So I'm thinking, yo, you take the best talent available, man, and you just don't listen, man. When a kid could pass the ball the way he does, you do not give that up, man. You don't. Because I feel like we could find wings in this drive. There's so many wings in this drive. It's unbelievable.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
So you saying if he's there at 9, it'll be a mistake not to take him?
You don't even blink. Listen, man, you don't even blink. You take him.
Okay.
Because to me, he wants to be in New York. Because if you realize it's his agent. His agent want him in New York. His agent want him.
Who's his agent?
I forgot the name of his agent, but his agent want him into New York because he wasn't going to work out for the Knicks, and then the agent changed his mind and wanted him to work out for the Knicks. I'm telling you, but to put that kid in a market like this, it's going to be nuts. It's going to be nuts. It's going to be nuts.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if he comes in and he does the things that he did in college, then yes, it would be crazy.
And he's putting on weight and muscle.
He's what?
What? I think he put on like 5 pounds.
No, he put on 13 pounds. 13 pounds of muscle. And went down to like 5.7. He was at 7.3 or something percent body fat, and now he's at like 5.7. Now he's at 5.7% body fat now. So I mean, he lost some weight. I mean, he gained weight. He gained muscle, but he didn't gain fat. He lost fat, which is good. Yeah,
that's good because you want him lean. You want him quick. It's to make him more quick because in college he's not like quick. He's not quick. So it's going to make him much quicker when he gets to the league. Just wait till he get his foot into the league, get used to the speed, because it's going to take time for any point guard. All point guards that get drafted take about 2-3 years, maybe even 4 to accumulate to the game of NBA, because playing the point guard is the hardest thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you take him, man. You do that Denver deal, take that 14th. If we get that 14th pick, I'm telling y'all right now, I will take Chandler Hutchison before anybody at that wing spot. At that wing spot. Because Portland got him. Portland has him at 23. They promised him. That's why he's not working out for no team.
Right.
And trust me, his skill set. If Portland grab him up, that's like getting like another CJ McCollum. I swear to you, that's his skill set. And he looks bigger than 6'7". He looks more like 6'10" to me. He could run the floor. He could defend. He could score. He could score at all three levels in the NBA. I feel like if we get that 14th pick, we get him at number 14. Because listen, man, I want to surround the Knicks with everybody on the floor is a threat. I don't want nobody that is a wing that's not a threat. I want everybody to be a threat at their position. That's how we're gonna get better.
I agree with you there, 100%.
If you go back and watch Chandler Hutchison, offensive tools, it's NBA ready, man. 4 years of that. He went up from what 8, 11, 13, and 20 for his last year. Come on, yo. He scores it like he in the NBA, man. I'll take him at 14. He's only 22.
22. You take him at 14.
Yeah, I'll take him at 14. That's just me personally.
Right.
I think he's a sleeper at that wing position. Out of all the wings that's in the draft, I think he scores it better than any wing in this draft. Other than one kid that plays for Wichita, I forgot his name. He's another one too. He's another one.
Okay.
There's a lot of guards, wings that could score in this draft.
So let's say the Knicks drafted Trae Young at 9.
Yeah.
Right. Courtney Lee is probably going to get moved anyway.
I would trade him for a second. Listen, man, that second round going to have nothing but wings too.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Right. I think that's what we're going to get. Yeah.
So then, what do we do with Trey Burke? What happens with Burke? Because if you got Trae Young, I mean, do you have a need for Trey Burke anymore?
He still could be a third guard because you think about it, Simeon. The way Frank plays, what people's not understanding something. He's not a dominant dominant guard which handles. He needs the ball. He don't need the ball. He's a playmaking guard. He can play off the ball. Them European players, they do more than one thing. If you watch all of them, they do more. They cut, they slash. He does a lot of it. It's just that Hornacek made him look bad.
Oh, but I know that.
Yeah, this flashes of him cutting and doing all the stuff without the ball. He's a playmaking guard. He's not a primary ball. He could be a primary ball handler, but he's more of a playmaking guard. He can handle the ball. It's just like
Ricky Rubio and Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, basically.
It's like that.
Donovan Mitchell, he's a ball dominant guard. Mm-hmm. He needs the ball to be effective. Frank is not like that. So you could slot him at the 2. You could slot him at the 2 because guess what? He's 6'7". He's 6'7".
Well, I think he's 6'6" right now. I think they got him at 6'6". He might grow to be 6'7". Might grow to be 6'7".
He looks like he's grown. 6'6", 6'7". He's just long.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, but so then you make. So is Trey Burke one of your guards coming off the bench? Trey Burke or Damian Dotson, or?
Because check this out. This is what we could do. Because Trey Burke could stay. Because guess what? We only got him for $1 million. He could still be third guard coming off the bench. Ain't nothing wrong with him coming off the bench.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean I agree. I mean I think that's his. I think that's his future role anyway.
And even if because they're gonna get rid of Courtney Lee because why?
Yeah, it was
because he's 33 years old. He's going to want to play for a contender team. Mm-hmm. And then his contract is so great.
Yeah, he's got a good contract. $12 million a year. Not bad. Yeah. And he produces.
That is a great contract.
And he produces.
For a quality player like him, I swear to God, if you put Courtney Lee somewhere on a contender, he will show out. Because he's a knockdown shooter. He shoot it better than I ever thought he did. Because he's a great three-point shooter. He's a great three-point shooter.
Right. He shoots like 40% from threes. Good.
Yes.
He can knock it down.
He's a knockdown shooter. You can't make Courtney Lee like the one of the primary guards. He has to be like a second, third string guard.
Yeah.
That's how he's gonna be more effective. Because if he has that much responsibility, he's gonna have a good game and he's gonna have two bad games. And he's gonna have a good game and he's gonna have two bad games.
Yeah. I mean, he would help Cleveland out right now.
Yes, but
if he was playing with the Cavs right now.
Of course, because he could guard Curry. He could guard Curry and stay with Clay a little bit.
Yeah.
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 Hey, all right. Hey, you know, I think that, hey, Mark, I think some other people want to call in and talk about Trae Young and what they think about Trae Young, man. Hey, I appreciate you calling in. First time on the video chat. That's what's up. I'm sure everybody want to see you call in on video chat a little bit more.
All right, no doubt. I'll keep it coming.
All right, man. Peace, man. Have a good one.
All right, dogs.
All right, peace, man. Yeah, my man, Who's Mark, comes in on the video chat. That's what's up. That's what's up. Video chat debut. But, so this is a good question, right? So let's say we draft Trae Young at 9. Right? We draft Trae Young at 9. Then where do we go? What do we do with Trey Burke? Do we keep Trey Burke off the bench? Hey, Rafi, I'll get to you in a minute. Do we keep Trey Burke off? Do we keep Trey Burke? See, you know Trey Burke is fighting for a lead spot. He's not trying to come off the bench. That's not what he wants to do, right? We know that about Trey Burke, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not knocking him for that. You know, you should want to be that, and if you feel you have that talent, right? So, if you draft Trae Young, now you got Trey Burke, who obviously feels that he should be a starter in the NBA. Right now, he feels that he should be a starter in the NBA, right? Then what do? Because you don't draft Trae Young at 9, and you're probably going to start him. Maybe. I don't know. We said that about Frank, and it didn't happen, right? But Trae Young, maybe you're probably going to start him. You can keep Trey Burke as a 6-man. Then maybe you have Damian Dotson. Or if you have Trae Young and you still do get another wing, then you got Tim Hardaway at the 2. Frank's coming off the bench, maybe at the 1 or the 2. Damian Dotson hopefully is going to move into the rotation. If Courtney Lee is gone, I'm assuming Courtney Lee is gone. Unless you're going to continue to put Tim Hardaway Jr. at the 3 spot, which I do not like personally. I don't think he's long enough to be a 3, not in today's NBA. You know what I mean? I think he's a perfect size for a 2. He's not the perfect size for a 3. 3s in today's NBA is long. They're long and they're lanky. Most of them. Right? I'd much rather see Tim Hardaway. If we're keeping Tim Hardaway, I'd much rather see Tim Hardaway at the 2 spot. That's where I want to see him. So then, the question is, where does Frank fit in? Where does everyone fit in? Where does everyone fit in? If you bring in, we don't know where everyone fits in now. Even if Courtney Lee is traded, we don't know where everyone fits in now. Then you bring another guard in to have to figure it all out again. I don't know. Rafi, what's popping, bro?
Yo, what you saying, Sam? Shout out to the chat.
Yeah, for sure, man. How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm feeling a bit optimistic now about the Knicks more.
Yeah.
Because obviously I saw the game today and I saw Steph Curry just like, before when he just let the shot off, I just already knew it was going in. Same with Clay. Now, it just makes me think more about Trae Young, obviously, and his skill set. And now I'm feeling like I don't think he's getting past Magic because Magic need a point guard. But if we can get him, I think it'll be a great addition because we're in talent acquisition mode. We're not a team that's not even like the Nuggets. We're not a young team that are close to the playoffs. Like
right,
we just need talent right now, and I don't want to be looking. I'm not saying. I think Mikal Bridges' upside is not as his ceiling is not as big as Trae Young. I want to be looking at people whose ceiling is the highest possible, and I want to pick them more. So if Trae Young's there, I'm probably wanted to take him as well because he's not going to be like Jimmer Fredette. Like this guy, he can play make as well. And no, I don't care what level if you can play make and you can score, yeah, you're going to be able to do something productive. And I just feel like if he can get, if his ceiling is if he can be that top point guard, if he could be that top player and we let him go, then that's just again like Curry Part 2, and we can't afford to do that. We can't afford to do that again. There's no. I don't think. Do you know any other player that has a high upside that is not that you think the Knicks can get? I don't think there's another person with a high upside.
So, okay. So the proposition of Trae Young, from what I'm hearing with a lot of people, the proposition of Trae Young is just too scary to pass up if he's there. That's what I'm hearing. That it's just too scary to pass up, and that if we pass up on him, it's gonna be a major mistake. That's what I'm hearing from people, because I'm assuming that a lot of people just feel that he's going to be a star in the league.
Yeah, he will. I'm pretty sure now that he will. Like, regardless of the height, like if you got the skill set, then and the thing about him, he's got the mindset. Like, you know how I always talk about mindset. I'd rather take a guy with the mindset and the IQ over someone that's got the athletic abilities or something.
Okay, so let me ask you. So we take Trae Young at 9. He's there. We take him.
Yeah.
What do we do with everyone else? Where do we go? How do we flush out this problem at guards? Because we got crazy guards. How do we flush it out?
Well, Ron Baker's he just opted in, right? So we'll just keep it for another year. He's just another energy guy off the bench. Moody, hopefully in this finishing, hopefully his finishing improves now with Fizdale, because that's like what he's known. Like he gets point guards finishing abilities better. So hopefully it improves over this season. But I don't really care for. To be honest, I just want Ntilikina. If we get Trae Young, Ntilikina and Trae Young, because what Fizdale said in the press when he did the press conference, he said not point guard, he said guard. So it doesn't really matter about one or two. Like you could put Trae Young and Ntilikina together and let Trae Young if he's having an off night, it doesn't matter. You have Frank there, and Frank, he's gonna ease the pace. He's not gonna be erratic like Trae Young.
Right.
But so it's just better. It's like a balance of it's like the yin and yang. You need to. That would be like an amazing backcourt for us. Like, don't you think that's the best potential that we could probably get from this draft?
Right. So then what happens with Tim Hardaway Jr.?
Tim, I think we could trade him in the draft because either him or Courtney Lee are getting traded for sure. One of those two are definitely getting traded.
I agree. More likely Courtney Lee than Tim Hardaway Jr., I believe.
Because of age, but also because of his contract. Tim's contract is just like he hasn't, like, obviously he had the injuries, but he hasn't lived up to it. So
right.
I don't see him giving up
$6 million more a year than Courtney Lee.
And he's got that trade kicker, right? So if he gets traded, then they're gonna have to pay extra money as well. So I don't know about that. But I just want to I saw in your tab that you had Isaac Bonga.
Yeah. I'm gonna get to that a little bit. I don't want to jump into it too early, or then my whole show is gonna be gone.
Yeah. I get you.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really what I got. If we can get like last thing, if we can get that Kenneth, I think Kenneth Reed would be good on our team because he's a high energy guy. He's not just gonna be like Luol Deng. He's not gonna just be on the bench or Joakim Noah, who's just gonna be like an expiring contract on the bench or not even on the bench at home. He's someone that could produce for us, and we could probably re-sign him to a lower contract.
Okay.
So I think if we can get a 14th pick, then we can get a wing. But I don't want Kevin Knox because I know Kevin Knox is very raw, but all I'm hearing about him is his motor, and I can't trust. I don't care how talented he could be in the future. If your motor is not good, then I don't really want him in the team because say if he gets paid a big contract after a few years, he probably won't perform. He probably could be like a studio. So I wouldn't really want Kevin Knox in my opinion. But yeah, that's all I really got to say about
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's definitely an interesting scenario, and somewhere along the line, I really do believe that Trae Young is intrigued about New York.
Mm.
I just believe that he's intrigued about New York because
That's a good thing as well. So
I think he has that kind of big personality, and he would want to be in New York. I think he would enjoy the spotlight.
I think
I
he
don't.
can have
I
media
don't
as well.
think he's gonna do anything to try to say, well, I'm only gonna go to the Knicks, or I only want to be with the Knicks, or anything like that. I don't think he's gonna do anything like that. But I do believe that he would really like to be in New York. I just think, and it's not from anything that I've read or seen. I just think that he has the kind of personality to say, I want to prove that I can be the best player in the league. He's already said he's not coming in to be the best rookie. He wants to be the best player in the league. And he's not saying as a rookie, but eventually one day he wants to be the best player in the league.
See, I like that
And
mentality.
he wants to prove it.
Yeah.
So if he's saying that now, why wouldn't he want to do it on the biggest stage? You know what I mean?
He lives for the moment, the big moment.
Yeah. And now I see the Public Enemy says Cleveland won't pass up Young, and I agree with him 100%. I think that LeBron James will, if he's going to stay, will adamantly say, get Trae Young.
Don't you think they'll try to trade that pick if LeBron stays?
I don't think they'll try to trade the pick. I think that would be stupid for them to try to trade the pick. Listen, they made the NBA Finals this year. Now, will they make it next year? I don't know, and maybe there's a good chance that they don't make it next year. But LeBron is obviously getting older, so you need somebody that's going to be. Listen, LeBron's getting older. Kevin Love, they have an older team. They need someone that's going to be there to take over, right? They need someone to build around when LeBron goes. Let's say LeBron doesn't opt out leave this summer, and he stays and he plays there the rest of his career. Somebody's gonna have to be there to take over the reins. It was supposed to be Kyrie. You lost Kyrie. If you get Trae Young in this year's draft, then maybe, I'm not saying Trae Young is Kyrie or going to be Curry, but maybe you have somebody to start building around, and then you have LeBron there to kind of teach him.
What about if Michael Porter Jr. is still there? Who do you think they'll take more? Porter Jr.
That's a good question.
As well.
That's a good question. Who would the Cavaliers take between? You know what? I still think they might. I still think they might trade between the two. If he's there, they still might take Trae Young. They still might take Trae Young because the reason why
they need another playmaker, someone to take.
Yeah, they need another playmaker, and if Trae Young could be a playmaker in 1 or 2 years, then I think that's what they'll look to do.
All right, then. Anyway, I'm gonna jump off and some people want to call.
All right, man. Hey, I appreciate the call for sure.
Yeah, it's blessed, man.
Definitely, man. All right, man. Have a good one. Peace.
You too. Cool.
Yeah. I really don't think that Trae Young is gonna make it past. I don't think he's gonna make it past Orlando, and if he does, I don't think he gets past Cleveland. I think Cleveland will take him if he's there. I think Cleveland will take him. But hey, he's working out with the Knicks for a reason, which means he believes it's possible. Whatever they hear through the grapevine, he believes it's possible. And also, who knows? The Knicks could be using him, and he could be using the Knicks. Right? Teams use the Knicks all the time. They always use the Knicks, and so who knows? I'm not sure who his agent is, but that seems to happen to the New York Knicks. Isaiah, what's popping, bro?
What's going on, Sim? Shout out to the chat. Like it's time. What's going on?
I'm chilling, man. How you feeling?
Feeling good, man. Tired of this Trae Young talk, man.
Tired of the Trae Young talk. Well, I mean, right now, the Knicks haven't worked out anybody big yet. Right? So he's the first person, he's the first big name that we've really worked out. So, haven't worked out yet. Gonna work out on Tuesday.
Yeah. Honestly, personally, I don't believe. If let's just say the Magic pass on him, I don't see the Cavs not getting him.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's good though. I'll say this: it's good for Trae Young and it's good for the Knicks. It works out for both of them. Trae Young gets that exposure, and it looks good on the Knicks that people want to work out for us and everything. Mm-hmm. So, it works out both sides. But
that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It's part of the business. But me personally, well, I've been Team Frank. Frank, to me, is our starting point guard of the future. He's, Trae Young is like, you said it earlier. Sim. Trae Young. If we get Trae Young, he'll have a couple good games. We're gonna do the typical. We're gonna do the same thing we've been doing the last 20 years.
Jump off the bridge. We're gonna jump off the bridge, jump out the window. Yeah.
And like I said before about Frank, Frank reminds me of Eli Manning. That's who Frank reminds me of the most. Mm-hmm. He's not the loud, that guy that's me. Frank is the good girl that we need. We don't need the bad chick that's every dude want. Frank is the good girl that you get at the end of the movie that's been there the whole time that you need.
Been there the whole time. The one you've been passing over her. You've been trying to get the cheerleader, trying to get this one, that one, the one with the big butt, all that. Frank, and the one that kept helping you with the homework and doing all that stuff. You've been ignoring her, even though she
Sim, you remember Boomerang?
All of that, Yeah, exactly. Boomerang.
Frank is Holly Berry, man. Frank is Holly Berry.
Okay.
But what is interesting too today, Sim? I think I could have met him today too.
Who's that? Who that?
I think I could have met Frank today.
Oh yeah? How's that? What happened?
He was in Connecticut today because he was helping Donovan Mitchell at his camp because Donovan Mitchell's from Connecticut.
Right.
He's from Greenwich, and he was. There's an article about it. He was in Connecticut.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Helping Donovan, and I was at work throughout the day. I probably could have stopped by and went by there, but even I read the article. I was kind of mad because I was like, dang, I had work today, and I could have probably went down there. But somebody asked Frank. He was like, someone asked Frank, how did you feel about Donovan Mitchell's rookie year? He was like, it's great. And then someone said, do you want to have a year like that? He was like, no, I want to have a better year than that.
Yeah.
I want to surpass them. And I'm like, that's what I like. We talked about it before about his competitor. He's a really good, fiery competitor. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited for him. He's definitely picked on muscles. He's the drill's looking good. He's dunking at the rim. So
he's looking good. He's looking good. Of course, we're seeing him while he's working out with Chris Brinkley. I'm glad he's coming back and working out with Chris Brinkley. He seems to be a good trainer. Everybody wants to work with him. Seems to be a good trainer. He looks a little bit faster and a little bit stronger in the videos. Of course, we got to see him put it into action.
Of course. Like I said, I'm with you with the wing, man. I want either Kel or Michael Porter or Miles, whatever one of those guys, man. That's what I'm down for. You know what? I'm fine on the point guard. Like I said, I believe in Frank. Frank is even with the analytics, man. We're literally on both sides of the ball better with Frank in the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
literally. So it's like I'm fine with that, man. But
Yeah. We'll see. But I'm anxious for summer league. I'm anxious for
me
the
too.
draft. I'm anxious for the draft, and then of course after the draft, I'm gonna be anxious for summer league. Frank
Yes,
didn't
sir.
get a chance to play, and I think it would have helped Frank out a lot if he would have got to play in summer league, and then also got to play a little bit. He played one game in preseason or two, maybe, whatever it was.
Yeah.
If he would have got to play a little bit more in preseason, I think it would have helped him out a whole lot.
No, definitely.
Yeah. Hey, Isaiah, man, thank you for the call, man.
To everybody, remember
Peace
that.
out.
Holly Berry. Frank is Holly Berry.
Holly Berry, no doubt. All right, man.
Peace.
All right, peace, man. All right. Frank is Holly Berry. I get it. I'm with it. Hey, so let's talk about this. Mark, who's Mark, touched on it a little bit earlier, and people have been talking about it. How do we pursue this trade with the Nuggets? If we really want to get that 14th pick, which I do, I really want to get this 14th pick, right? Asim, give me a minute, Asim. Let me get through this real quick. I really want to get this 14th pick. To have 2 picks in this draft, I think is going to be, we want to collect talent. This is what we need to do. But how do we go about doing it? That's the problem, right? Because the Nuggets want to trade Kenneth Faried for 2 reasons. He's taking up a roster spot. They don't really use him that much. They don't have a good relationship right now. They also want to free up and clear up cap space. They don't want to clear up cap space next year. If they wanted to clear up cap space next year, they just let his contract expire. They want to clear up cap space now for this summer coming up. For whatever the reasons are. I haven't looked at their salary stuff, but for whatever it is, they want to clear up cap space now. Which means they need to make a trade before July 1st with a player whose contract ends July 1st. Right? So how do we do that? We've got to match his deal. We've got to match the deal in order to do it. Right? So it's not like we can just throw somebody out there, here, take Courtney Lee, we'll take back Kenny Faried. They don't want Courtney Lee. Right? They're not in title contention. Okay? They want to free up that cap space. All right, so let me see. I'm gonna pull up his contract right now. All right, Kenny Faried is making $12 million this year, $13 million. Finished at this year, he made $12.9 million, $13 million. Then he makes $13.7 million next year. Courtney Lee's contract would fit perfectly, but they'd be able to swap out evenly. But Courtney Lee's contract goes an extra year. They don't want that extra year. They want to get rid of this $13 million. Which means we need to trade somebody whose contract ends this year. Who do we have whose contract ends this year? We have possibly an S Cantor. We still don't know exactly what Cantor's going to do. Possibly Kyle O'Quinn. We still don't know what Kyle O'Quinn is going to do. Right? Then you got Kuzminskis no longer on the team. You got Jarrett Jack, Raymond Sessions no longer on the team. Michael Beasley, Johnny O'Brien was waived. You got Dot. You got Troy Williams. These guys, all of their money. Now, if we had all these guys still on the roster, and you could trade all of these guys, and then they can waive these guys, or just let their contracts expire, or however they could do it, they could find a way to work it out, then maybe that would work. You still need to have, a certain number of roster spots or, whatever. Bottom line, right now as we speak, we do not have the ability without getting a third team involved, without getting someone who would possibly like to have Courtney Lee maybe. Right? And then that team has someone whose contract is expiring this year. They trade them to the Nuggets. We trade Courtney Lee to that team. The Nuggets give us the 14th pick. Maybe we move our second pick to someone else. Whatever. We don't have the ability to trade straight up. We just don't have the ability to trade straight up with the Denver Nuggets and get that 14th pick. Unless Cantor says, I'm opting out. And he says so before July 1st. Right? If he says so before July 1st, then maybe you can pull something off. Right? Because, and I think the Nuggets would jump on it. The Nuggets would jump on it because not only would they be able to free up, get rid of Kenny Fareed, they'd also, Kenny Fareed makes $13.7 million. We trade them, and as Cantor, maybe we take back someone whose contract goes until 2019, 2020, or whatever it is, and they get to free up $18 million. They would do that. I really think they would do that. It depends on what Cantor is going to do. If Cantor says that he's going to opt out, the Knicks have to call Denver and say we will trade you and as Cantor. They have to. If he says we will opt out, they have to. If I was Steve Mills, Scott Perry, I'd be on the horn with Cantor right now. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I would do. Maybe I would send prank calls to his house. Send him a bad pizza and let him know who it's from. Say, hey, this is from Scott Perry. I don't know. I do something to make him say, I don't want to be here no more. Get him out of there. Asim, what's popping, man?
Hey, Simeon, how you doing, man?
I'm chilling, man. Tell me, how do you think we can go about getting this 14th pick? I really do want this 14th pick.
Okay, you remember the last time we talked, right? You know how I feel about bad trades. Remember we talked about the man we could have had in Scottie Pippen. Did you ever look that up?
I didn't get a chance to look it up.
Okay, well, let's talk about this first, and I'll go ahead and let you know how the Scottie Pippen deal went down.
Okay.
I don't think it's a good idea with this trade because I'm just going to be honest with you. I think we're doing a little bit too much. I mean, we're going to get Kenneth Fareed back. I don't even know what does he have left in this tank.
Yeah, but he wouldn't be there long term. He would be there. The only reason why we would take Kenneth Fareed back is so we can get that 14th pick. His contract would be over in 2019.
Okay, so we get let's go ahead and break this down. We're getting Kenneth Fareed, right?
Right.
Okay, then we will get the 14th pick, right?
Right.
And what do we give up?
Well, if Inez Cantor opted out, we would give up Inez Cantor.
So
we'd give up Cantor.
So we're only saving, and how many more years does Kenneth Fareed has?
1 next year.
Okay, so you're telling me that all we're doing is just freeing up $6 million for the summer?
We wouldn't free up, and we're not going to have money for this summer anyway.
So what's the point?
The idea, the point would be to get the 14th pick. We're not looking to be players in free agency until 2019.
That's my point. This is. I know exactly what you're saying. That's my point. Why would we get the 14th pick? We could still get the 9th pick, the 9th best player on the board.
We would have the 9th and the 14th pick.
Oh, we're gonna have both. Is
yes.
that? Oh,
right. We would have the 9th and the 14th pick.
Wait a minute. Wait. You're telling me that they're gonna trade? They want to make this trade and just give up the pick and that's it?
The Nuggets want to get rid of Kenny Fareed. I'm assuming that they want to get rid of his contract. One, they have a bad relationship. They want to get rid of his contract so they can sign Jokic to an extension or whatever it is, right? So that they can have enough money to sign him. So they're willing to trade the 14th pick so that someone will take Kenny Fareed.
That is pretty bad.
It is pretty bad on the Nuggets' part. I think it's pretty bad. But I guess they want to extend. I don't know exactly what they want to do, but I just don't think that it's a good idea. If I was the Nuggets, I would say, we got 1 more year. I'm going to hold out for this year.
That's what I would do. Because look, we'd already talked about this. As far as the Knicks concerned, we're not going to be contending. We're not going to be contending next year. We're not going to be. I don't even think we're going to be contending probably for the next 3 or 4 years. To be honest with you. And as far as talent acquisition is concerned, I believe if Michael Porter Jr. or Trae Young drops down to us, I mean, that's pretty good right there because that takes care of both. We're getting one of the best players that's on the board in Trae Young if he's still there, and Michael Porter Jr. He'll obviously be the best player that's still there as well, and he'll be taking care of a need and as far as a wing player. I believe he could play the 3 and the 4. To be honest with you, I just wasn't quite too sure what was going on with that Denver Nuggets pick. They're willing just to give up their pick.
Yeah, that's what's out there, that they're willing to give up the pick to move Kenny Fareed, which to me it just doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't make sense. Something else is there's something
doesn't
else
make sense. But
there's something missing. I think we're missing something here. I'm not, because they're gonna want something back. Something is not quite right. It doesn't make any sense.
They want the cap space back. They want the cap space.
Let me go back to Scottie Pippen and let me give you I have a point here when I'm saying this. Back in 1986. Okay, remember 1985? We drafted Patrick Ewing. Am I correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Back in 1986, the Knicks were doing bad, and we needed a guard. So we traded with the Seattle Supersonics for a man named Gerald Henderson, who was averaging, I believe, a double-double in points and assists.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that particular year, in 1986, we went ahead and traded Seattle our first round pick for 1987, and we also traded our 2000 pick. Our 1990 second round pick. So in 1986, we must have had a really bad year because the first pick of the draft in 1987 was Scottie Pippen, which was our pick.
The first pick of the
1987 draft was Scottie Pippen.
Okay. So
my point is saying all of that is this is what happens when you do all of these bad trades and this, that, and the other. Yeah, granted, we don't know what we're going to get with these when we draft these players.
Uh-huh.
But when we continue to do these, these type of quick fixes and everything else, this is what happens. We lose out on a lot of players.
Yeah.
We made a trade. We made a trade with the Chicago Bulls one year, and they ended up getting 2 of our picks. I believe it was what year was Joakim Noah drafted?
No, I forgot.
Okay, well, we traded 2 of our picks that the Chicago Bulls traded off one of them, which was LaMarcus Aldridge, and then they ended up getting Joakim Noah. I believe it was back to back or a year, 2 year, 1 year apart. But my point is, there's been so many trades the New York Knicks has done that has really, I want to use the word bankrupted the franchise, that it has gotten us to this point. There were so many names, and then on top of that, we didn't make any bad trades when we lost out on Stephen Curry. We just picked Jordan. We picked Jordan Hill. I know I'm laughing. And then Stephen Curry was the next player, and that's really sickening.
No. We missed out on Steph Curry, and then we got Jordan Hill.
I thought we picked. What did we? I thought we picked 7, or did we pick 9th?
We picked 9th. And we missed out on Steph Curry. We were going to draft Steph Curry, but then the Warriors drafted Steph Curry, and then we got Jordan Hill. We could have got a number of guys. Yeah.
Are you sure about that? Are you sure he drafted?
Yeah, I'm positive. He's the guy. That's the reason why people talk about this Trae Young. You don't want to miss him like they missed out on Steph Curry. But we missed out on Steph Curry, not because we didn't draft him.
I about to say we didn't miss out. We didn't miss out on Steph Curry. That was he just got picked before we were there.
Picked. Yeah. Yeah.
I doubt if Golden State was going to make any type of trade, and if it was, it would have been astronomical. It would have, it would have killed us as far as draft picks and everything else, like it did with Carmelo
Yeah.
Anthony.
Yeah.
My point is, like I said, I squarely believe that we needed this draft players, and this is my form. We need to draft players, build a foundation for the next 3 or 4 years. Once we've done that, then we look at what we got. You put the best player on the floor, positionless basketball, just like Fizell's been talking about. At that point in time, then you start making your trades in order to benefit one team and it's going to benefit the other. And once we do that, and then once we've done that, then we go to free agency in order to fill in the gap and to possibly get another player.
I hear. Well, man, but I think that's the whole point in trying to get that 14th pick.
Well, that makes sense.
That's the whole point of trying to get that 14th pick.
And because I was kind of confused in that one. I didn't realize they were just trying to trade they just wanted to get rid of the pick.
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Wow.
But hey, Asim, I thank you for the call, man. And I do have this article up about the Knicks missing out Scottie Pippen. But let me get this other call coming in. All right, I don't want to miss it.
Okay.
All right, appreciate it, bro.
All right.
Peace. CP the artist, my man, what's popping?
Peace.
Hey, give me 1 second. Yeah, what Asim was talking about is, he was talking about back in the day, way back in, and you can see the article here if you go to the Sportster. It's about, it's like 15 draft picks or trades or whatever it is that the Knicks missed out on. And Scottie Pippen was one of them because they traded their 1987 first rounder and a 1990 second rounder to the Seattle Supersonics for Gerald Henderson. And I guess in that 87 first rounder became Scottie Pippen. All right. But getting back to, and I understand what he's saying. I understand his point about the trades. But getting back to this Denver thing, right? And I'm bringing up Denver's salary cap. If you see right now, their payroll is $108 million. Okay. Next year, they're still on the books for $106 million. Okay. Jokic, he has a team option for $1.6 million going into next year. Now, maybe they want to try to extend him. Maybe they're trying to free up money so that they can extend him. Or maybe they're just trying to offset this $30 million that they paid Paul Millsap. I don't know exactly what their idea is or where they want to go with it. Wilson Chandler is probably going to opt into his contract at $12.8 million. Darrell Arthur's probably going to opt into his contract at $7.4 million. They'll probably let Jameer Nelson, Devin Harris go. Will Barton, he's done. So maybe they want to give some money to Will Barton. Right? They might want to keep Will Barton. Look at Gary Harris's contract. Right? He made $2 million 2016, 17, 18. This year, $2.5 million. 2018, 19, he makes $16 million. $17 million in 19, 20. $19 million in 2021. And $20 million in 21, 22. Right? I can understand. They had some contracts that maybe I don't know, maybe they thought they was going for it. When they made some of these signings. I don't know. But I can see where they probably want to free up some money so that they can they can do some other things. So maybe that's the reason why they want to give up that 14th pick. But listen, the Denver Nuggets, they're okay. I'm sure they can use the youth though. And I'm sure they can use the talent. I don't understand. Maybe they don't think there's enough talent at that 14th pick. I don't get it. If it was me, I wouldn't do it. CP the artist, what's popping, man? if we give them some future, so we do Courtney Lee to another team. Future draft picks. And then we take back. So then we have to then we need to find a team that has cap space available, that's willing to take a team that really wants Courtney Lee. They've got to want Courtney Lee. And you would think that it would be a contender that would do that. You know what I mean? Or a team that feels that Courtney Lee is, the next, a missing piece to them being a contender. I don't know if the team is out there. Right. Yeah. Yeah, they could be, and I think even if we did take back that 14th pick, they still might want our second round pick. I think we bought the pick from them. Oh, hold up. You know what? Dang, I'm talking to you and no one could even hear you. I'm talking to you. I'm having a conversation with you and no one could hear you because I had you on mute.
I'm not going to repeat myself.
I'm tripping. So basically, crew, what CP the artist said, and my bad, sometimes I'll be sleeping.
Oh, good.
Sometimes I'm sleeping, man. Yeah, you know what? And look, Eric Sue, I think that's your name. You said I'm blind. I don't be seeing it. I'm not even looking at the chat sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I apologize, y'all. Marty, I got it. I appreciate it. I apologize. You know what I'm saying? I'm messing up my own show. I'm tripping.
Just
but
to recap real quick.
I got to make sure I'm reading the comments a little bit better so I can see it. I'm busy talking to you. I'm looking up stuff, trying to get information, and nobody could hear. So I'm talking to people like, what is he talking about?
Yeah, he talks to himself. Yeah,
right, exactly. Yeah, so go ahead. Repeat yourself to everybody for me, please.
All right, real quick. I was just saying that we should get a third team involved. The third team would send Denver future draft round picks, and we would also send future draft round picks. We would get Fareed, and we would send Courtney Lee to that third team.
Right.
Yeah.
Send Courtney Lee to that third team. Yeah.
So that way, this year, Denver would have that cap space going into this summer, and they will have to deal with those draft picks next year that we and the third team would give them.
Right.
So I don't know.
I mean, the Knicks, they're gonna have to do something. They're gonna have to get creative. They're gonna have to get creative.
I expect this year that they're going to be very aggressive. I don't think that Mills and Scott Perry are going to give our new coach just a team that's from last year. I think they're going to be very aggressive. I think that they're going to give Fizdale the best opportunity to win. I think that they might add 3 to players that maybe they're going to be developed. And I also think that they're they're going to re-sign KP. They're going to have to put something together that's competitive. You know what I mean? So I believe that they're going to be aggressive. I think that when it came to like that Trae Young thing, I think that look, they're in the best predicament to pick up a Trae Young. I'm not a Trae Young fan. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a Trae Young fan.
Mm-hmm.
But they could just either waive Trey Burke, which is only $1 million, and then you also got Moutier, which is only $4 million, and he's in the last year, ain't he?
Yeah. Moutier is yes. He could get a qualifying offer, I believe, this year. He can get a qualifying offer,
right?
But the Knicks don't have to give him that,
right? Or you could just trade him outright for picks or something. You know what I'm saying? So. I think the start of the draft night is going to be something. I think that they're going to make a lot of moves. So other than that, man.
Yeah, a lot of people think that the Knicks are going to stand.
I don't think
they're going to do anything crazy and try to get any monster players in, but I think they're going to stick with it. Idea of staying young, right?
Yeah, right.
And but they'll make some moves, hopefully to get draft picks or make moves for other young players.
Right. But I believe that they're going to give Dave Fizdale the best that he can. I think that they're not going to give him a team where it's like, okay, we're going to have to do this all again next year. Or try to, be uncompetitive, so uncompetitive that we're back in the same situation that we're in, next year. You know what I'm saying? I think that they're gonna go in. I believe that they're gonna go in. I don't feel like they got Fizdale just to, okay, hey, we want you just to babysit this for a couple of years. And then, when we get lucky in the draft or whatever, we'll have something for you.
Right.
I agree that they won't add cap, but I believe that with all the gluts and the problems, I think they're already in the works of making trades
making some moves.
Yeah, making some moves.
I mean, they got to be looking to see what moves are out there potentially. You're not doing your job if you're not.
Yeah.
And
I'm more thinking about what I just said, how Trey Burke's contract is like, easily he could get waived, and also Moutier could get moved. We could get a Lonnie Walker. We could get we could get a point guard of I could be alongside Frank, or the best available player,
right?
And then maybe like later on in the draft pick up that wing or that 5 or maybe a 4. You know what I'm saying? Maybe like a stretch 4 or something like that. So I mean, I don't know, but
I don't think they're gonna be as still as just I'm gonna draft and we're gonna draft with this 9th pick and that's it.
And that's it. Yeah,
I think that there may be a little bit more happening.
Another thing too is like if we might just lose at least 2 players. You know what I mean? Beasley or Cantor or either Beasley or Cantor. If they Cantor opts out, we're not going to chase him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they have to do something. Fill that. Maybe they'll get some scrub players.
Right. I mean, I mean, they've got to do something to clean up the glut anyway. Right. They got to do something to clean up the glut that we have at guard. At least try to make the roster look. At least have people in roles and positions.
Word.
You know what I mean? Or something. so that you have something to work with. If you're building, you've got, you can't just be like, okay, we're going to throw them out there unless they're looking at it as just another tryout type of year. I don't know. We'll see what's up and how they move,
All right, man. I don't want to hold you up too long, man.
Yeah. I know you had to go a little longer, because I
recap myself.
gaffed up, messed up. You know what I mean? Appreciate it, though. Appreciate you running back. Yeah.
Yo, make sure you check out that new Black Thought album, man.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I will.
Fire.
Yeah, it's tough. Okay. Yeah, I'm on it. I'll probably be on it tonight.
All right, homie.
All right, man. Peace.
Later.
Crew, I'm sorry about that. Didn't mean to have my man muted. You know what I mean? I apologize. But we back in effect. We back in effect. We back on. And so, hopefully there's some interesting moves to talk about with the Nuggets. We'll see what happens there. And maybe there's nothing that the Knicks can do. You know what I mean? I'm hoping that Cantor opts out. If Cantor opts out, I think that 14th pick is ours, really. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Ron Martinez, what's popping, bro?
What's up, bro? Shout out to the chat.
Yeah. I got you nice and clear. I'm making sure that I have you unmuted because I had CP the artist muted and no one can hear him. But we straight now.
Yeah. Yeah, I tried to give you a holler there. I wasn't the only one. I was one of them too. I was like, hey, send me in. We can't hear nothing.
Right. And I'm looking up at this other screen here and I didn't even see the chat. And then all of a sudden I look in the chat and I'm like, oh man, no one can hear.
Yeah. That's all right. It happens, bro. Like I said, you trying to do everything. You type in, you're looking at the screen. So
right.
You got the one man show over there.
Yeah. Yes. So what do you think about this trade, man? The possibility of the Knicks trading.
You know what? I agree with you, but let me ask you this question because I don't know if you guys already talked. I heard the last caller talk about Frank, but my question is, this year, let's say. Of course, right now the draft could be unpredictable. I mean, like you said, I agree with you with Trae Young. He could be. People always use the Knicks to get what they want, so it could be just his agent say, hey, you know what, go work out with the Knicks. You'll probably go high in the draft or whatever. So
exactly.
Who knows?
Right.
Who knows what that's all about? But I think right now there's a couple of questions that I wish we could be a fly in the room with Steve Mills and the Brain Trust is in the 9th pick. Are we looking for need or are we looking for talent? And if we're looking for talent in the 9th pick, realistically, is that talent have to turn into a superstar? Because I think usually when you go within 1 through 5, I'm pretty sure that player has to be, we know there's no guarantee, but you have to say, okay, if you're going within the first 4 or 5 picks, can I see this guy being a Hall of Famer? He has to be a short shot, a starter. Now, once you go through 5 through 10, I think this is where it gets a little tricky because when the Knicks are up to, when it's their turn to draft, let's say, for example, Trae Young falls in the lap by some miracle and the stars line up and Trae Young is there to grab. Like you said earlier, we missed out on Steph Curry. We're just one pick away. What happens? We got Jordan Hill, and we traded him anyway. So,
we traded him for Tracy McGrady, right? We traded Jordan Hill for Tracy McGrady.
I don't know where the hell he went, but I know one thing is that that pick didn't do nothing for us. So I mean, like you go down to history, we've had Nene who's in Denver. We've had all kinds of players that we draft them and we end up turning around in a trade. My question is, not that I'm glad the other caller said, or the caller before me, he mentioned something. He kind of stole my thunder, which was, what happens if we get Trae Young and somebody, are the Knicks open for business? And people start calling and say, hey, I like Frank. What happens if somebody's asking for Frank? He's a young player, right?
Right.
We got because right now, realistically, this year, what the goal is, either is to make the playoffs or just to develop players. That's a question. What is going into the season? What's the goal for Fitz? Is to get them into the playoffs or just to develop the team, the young players?
Right.
Because to be realistic, as Knicks fans, we're not going to win no championship this year. So, what do you do with that pick? And if somebody calls for Frank, what happens is Frank gets you the win that you couldn't get in the draft, but you can get it from another team and get you that wing. Because, realistically speaking, in a perfect world, which is the wing that you would want to fall in your lap for the Knicks? Which wing that you saying right now? Do you sold right now? Say, hey, if this guy's on the board, this wing we got to get him.
If he's on
Which
the
guy-
board at
Yeah.
9, I mean, I like Bridges, and I think he'll probably be there. But if we're talking about someone who's like could possibly be a superstar talent, then it would be Michael Porter Jr. I think if he's there at 9 as a wing, and he could possibly have that superstar talent, I think because we have time to let him to help him develop.
Right. Because that was what screwed up everything when we had Carmelo. That when we drafted Porzingis, their timelines were not on the same timeline. Carmelo's on his way down, and Kristaps is just getting started. So that's what kind of screwed up everything. Then we get Frank. Frank is also, he's a baby. He has to get developed.
Right. And then we talk about like you ask, what happens? You get Trey Young, and then people are gonna start calling about Frank. And if you can get a wing,
what do you do?
But what if Frank becomes that wing? If he actually grew to be, yeah, I know you're not saying to trade him. I'm just saying that they'd have to think about that too, because if he grew to be 6'6", I mean, he could still grow to be 6'7". What if Frank becomes that 3?
Okay. Let me throw you this question, and I know, because I heard you talk about this before. I'm gonna mess with you real quick. Let's say Trae Young falls on our lap. We draft Trae Young. Boom. Now we got Trae Young at 9th pick, right?
Mm-hmm.
And something crazy like Chicago offers that kid, that 7-footer, over Frank. You do it?
Marketing.
Yep.
Whew. That's tough. I don't know. Oh man, that's tough.
What do you do, bro? And they call and say, hey, he got a small salary. He's a 7-footer, and I know you like him. I know you like his body, right? I know you like his body. You like his style. We're not getting probably KP. Probably it's a possibility we don't get KP, and we lose KP. Hey, we got our 7-footer, but if KP comes back, the only reason I bring that up, just as a hypothetical, I know it's a pipe dream, is that Fizdale said what he said. I want tall and athletic players, and Trae Young doesn't fit that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If we're going based on what Fizdale says, I don't know if that's what he told the media, and then behind closed doors, they're talking about something different. You know what I'm saying? Because he said he wants tall and athletic players. Well, Trae Young doesn't fit that description. So the question is, do you get Trae Young because you just don't want to make a mistake? Say, oh my God, what happened? This is, a poor man, Stephen Curry, and we pass up on this guy, and the next king behind against him, and he blows up, right?
Right.
So that changes the plan right there, because I mean, now we hear about Trae Young, but I'm like, I thought we were looking for wings. I thought we were looking for athletic, tall players.
Right.
So, but people don't understand how hard it is to build the NBA team, and those are the tough calls that a guy has to make. There, like, hey, how do you pull that trigger? Like, everybody likes Frank. He's a good player. I haven't heard too many people talk crap about Frank. But what happens if you get Trae Young and somebody's asking you for Frank, and they could offer you the wing that you couldn't get in the draft? Then what do you do?
Yeah, that's a real good. That's a hell of a point. That's a hell of a point, man. And
don't get me wrong. I'm not saying trade Frank, because I love Frank. I don't want him to be traded. But what I'm saying is that because, like you said, and what's holding everything up right now is Cantor and O'Quinn, because if they don't sign up, if they don't resign before the draft, we can't do nothing with them. So now that's holding us up. Our plans for making so we have to make our moves after the draft. And you already know that this summer we don't have a lot of money to work with. So, and sometimes when it comes to an NBA team, it's like any sports franchise. Some players, like they say, when it comes to need and talent, you like in football, they'll tell you in football, like perfect example, the Giants, the New York Giants, they didn't use their draft pick on their left guard, the left tackle. What did they? They signed a free agent. Because in that position, you don't want to waste that position on a pick. You want to get a free agent. So what they got? Tom Brady's left tackle. But what they use their pick on? The running back, because that's the need. We haven't had a running game in years. So when it comes to the Knicks right now, is what is our need and what is need versus talent. Yeah. And we need a lot anyway, but it's one of those situations right now where, like, I started brainstorming. I'm like, what happens if Trae Young falls in our lap and people start calling about Frank?
Yeah.
What do we? That's going to be hard.
It's going to be tough because they will. They're going to look and see how many guards we have and say, well, you got Trae Young. You got Tim Hardaway Jr. at the 2.
Right.
Right?
That contract that Tim Hardaway has, no one's going to take that contract, but you could move Frank's contract.
Yeah.
Frank's move.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a lot to think about, man. A lot to think about.
I'm not trying to jinx nothing.
Right.
My thing is that I think I'm going to throw you this curve and say, I'm going to call Stimmy. I'm going to say, what happened if Chicago calls and say, hey, we'll give you the 7-footer for Frank. You'll be like, wait a minute.
Yeah, that'd be tough, man. That'd be something.
Hey, Frank, nice knowing you. I appreciate good luck. Good luck in Chicago. Yeah, man. I think I throw that at you, man. Just, and I'm pretty sure in the chat some people may say, hey, that's never going to happen. But a lot of weird things happen on draft night. You never know.
You never know, man. You never know. Things happen sometimes.
And I'm pretty sure at the end of the day, we can say Frank is untouchable, but that's not until you get that phone call. When you get that phone call,
exactly. Exactly. That's what I was saying a couple shows ago. In my opinion, nobody's untouchable.
Yeah.
No one's really untouchable. Because you don't know what kind of offers or whatever may transpire, and you gotta listen to everyone. In my opinion, you gotta listen to everything.
And we're not in a position, and we don't have the luxury to blow this pick.
Yeah. Right.
All right, bro.
All right, man. Appreciate the call. Ron, always a great call with you, bro.
Thank you, bro.
All right, man. Peace.
Peace, bro.
My man, Daniel Watkins, what's popping, man?
What's popping, yo? I feel like it took me like 1,000 times to finally reach. I don't know if I was like bugging you out, man, but I finally reached, man.
Yeah, you here though. That's what's up. You on the line now.
Yeah.
Sometimes a lot of people calling in at one time, like right now.
Yeah, I know, man.
You know what I'm saying? It's what it is. It's cool though. It's all right. Hey, I'd rather have people calling in than not calling in. Yeah. So what's on your mind, man?
Yo, it's a lot that's on my mind, but we're gonna get on to the topic.
Yeah.
Me personally, I actually really like this kid. Like, I really like him.
Who?
Trae Young. I think he has a couple of things that he has to fix to him. I mean, I know everyone is saying he's too small, this and that and the other, but here's the question that you gotta ask yourself, right?
Right.
Whenever a player is being coached, or if a player's in a coaching system, you never know what's being told for them to do. So when he was in Oklahoma, obviously his defense was pretty bad. But how do they know that the team wanted to be focused on defense? How do they know? Like, you never know what the coach was asking for Trae Young to do. You get what I mean?
True. That's the truth. That's definitely the truth.
You know what I'm saying?
You never know what he was asking him to do.
You never know. You never know what Trae Young, what he's asked for, like what they asking for him to do. And in my opinion, I know he takes like a lot of bad like shots, like his shot selection, but that can always be changed. I feel like Fizz, he's gonna make sure that he's accounted for when he's taking those bad shots, and he's gonna make him play defense. Like, he's gonna make him put in effort. It's like, even if it don't work out, the one thing about the Knicks, whenever things don't work out, it's like it don't work out where it hurts us in the long run. You know what I'm saying? I feel like with Trae, if it don't work out, it's like, okay, it ain't really cost us no money. It was just a draft pick, and we just keep going on what we got to do. You see?
And trade them and make another move.
Huh?
I mean, the thing is, this draft pick it's an important one, though. It's an important one, so you kind of got to get it right.
It is an important one, but see, the thing with the Knicks is like, we need talent. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it don't matter who we pick, I'm going to be happy with. But in my opinion, the Knicks need talent. You always going to need talent to get over the hump.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? This is where you need talent. You see teams fall short. Like, as a Knicks fan, we've been seeing this all of our life.
Yeah.
The Knicks always just falling short from one thing. Like, we just one thing away. And I honestly think that's when it comes to talent. It's that one thing away. You know what I'm saying?
Especially for the last few years, it's been talent. We've been starved with talent. No talent. I'm with you.
So I mean, now that and also what people underrate about Frank is a very good passer. He's a very good passer. So I feel like with Trae Young, if Trae Young could really play really well, you know, if he learns to play really good off the ball, which I think he really can, you know what I'm saying? I think that would complement each other's games. I feel like Frank would always be like if Trae is running behind screens, he can always get that shot off, you know?
Yeah.
And one thing about Fizz that I like that what he said about, you know, when he was in Miami, they were a really good conditioning team. He's gonna make sure that that conditioning is good. So I like the idea that you know, I feel like Trey and Frank game really fit. I'm not really too big on Moutier, to be honest with you. Like I really feel like, you know, Scott Perry, you know, he's being nice. You know what I'm saying? You know, he's like, you know what, we keep him. But I don't think Moutier is like no need for anything.
Yeah. You know what? And one thing I definitely agree with you is that someone like Trae Young and Frank could be a good fit.
That's
I think Trey Burke and Frank are a good fit.
Yeah.
Too.
And you know, I wouldn't even mind Burke. In my opinion, Burke is a 6-man on a championship team. But I mean, like, if we don't get Trae Young, you could start Burke, you know what I mean? And we just see where that goes because that's what he wants to do.
Okay.
And another thing about the Knicks, we're actually not in the worst we're actually one of the best situations possible because we got a whole bunch of young guys. So if Fizz actually could develop these young guys, right? Now you got pieces to trade for what you really want. Now we don't need all that talent.
Okay, I hear you.
So now that we get Burke, we get Moutier, we get Frank, let's say, because you look at Miami's sort of low-key in the same position we in. They got a lot of guards in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
In Ellington, they got Dragic. They got what's the guy name with the braids? Richardson. They got a lot of guards in Miami, and they still, you know, they hold their ground on the defensive end. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like if the Knicks play this right, we're gonna do what the Celtics did. We're gonna develop what we got. We're gonna realize we don't need all those players, and we're gonna get the pieces that we really want to get.
Okay.
One thing that I realized, I know for a fact, Frank, he's the future. He's not going nowhere. He is not going nowhere. Everyone else, in my opinion, is up for grabs. Frank is the future. You know what I'm saying? It's obvious that they want to maximize and get everything out of Frank as much as possible. You know?
Yeah. Hey, Daniel, thank you for the call. And keep calling in, man. I know sometimes it'd be rough to get it, but we'll get you there. We'll get you there. I appreciate it, man.
All
right, peace. All right. Let's get on. Let's talk about Isaac Bonga. We talked about Trae Young and Kenny Farid. Let's talk about Isaac Bonga. You know, I think he's a guy. I don't know. I want to know what you guys think. I don't know if you guys have and Daniel Watkins. I think you had some really good points there. I didn't get a chance to say it to you while you were on the line. I think you had some good points there. Although this is a very important draft for the Knicks right here. You know, they really do need to get it right. I think they got the coaching. They got the coaching right. I think they need to get the draft right. And but you know, I like some of the things you had to say there. Didn't agree with everything, but I like some of the things you had to say there. So good call. But Isaac Bonga, from what I'm reading about the kid, and from what I've seen about him, he's 6'10". He's a point guard. Doesn't mean he's going to be a point guard in the NBA. Right now, he's drafted to go around 30. Right? I'm going to show you a clip. I just want to know if you think this is a guy if he's there at 36, that we should take some interest in. 6'10". Now, he's a point guard here, but for us, he could be a wing. Right? So this Isaac Bonga, you see him. He's a big dude. My man, Tony Crow, what's popping, man?
What's good?
How you feeling? So right now, I got some clips going to Isaac Bonga. 6'10" point guard. He's from Germany. Right? 6'10" point guard from Germany. I'm just trying to get an idea of what people think about this kid. And if he's somebody, if he's there in the second round for us, is he somebody that we take with our second round pick? Or could take with our second round pick? He's 6'10". He can handle the rock. He can pass the ball. Now, he's doing this in Germany, mind you. All right, so we don't know what he would do in the league. Right, but he's doing this in Germany. He runs point guard for his team in Germany. Right? I don't know. Have you seen him at all?
Yeah, I seen highlights. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. I don't think he would be there in the second round though. I think somebody would probably take him in the late first.
Think so.
Yeah, I mean, most of these late picks are going to playoff teams that are already established, so they could take a chance on them.
They could take a chance on them, develop them.
They may not even have him come next year, you know?
Right.
So, but I'm definitely intrigued. It's another reason why I wouldn't mind having a second first round pick.
Yeah, true. And I think right now, I don't know how old he is right now. I think right now he's still like 17 years old or something like that.
Oh wow. Yeah, see.
18 years old?
Definitely. He ain't gonna make it to the second round.
He probably right now. Yeah, right.
At least not to 35.
Yeah, right now I think on Tankathon they had him at like 30. Right?
Yeah,
they had him at like 30 on Tankathon.
So was he playing against like was he in a age league or was he playing with the adults?
He's playing with the adults.
Okay.
So, from what I understand, the league he plays in would be comparable to college. It definitely is not going to be
Euro ball or
playing on a level close to the NBA. It'd be comparable to college, I guess. I think he's averaging like 7 points per game or something like that. But he plays point guard. He's a point guard.
Yeah, he has a lot. He has a lot of skills. I definitely would not be upset if we could get a second first round pick and snatch him up.
Right now, he's 18 years old. He turns 19 in November. So he would come into the league at 18. If he was drafted, he would come into the league at 18 years old. And he's long. Now, this is the thing. Would he play point guard in the NBA? Probably not. I don't think he plays point guard in the NBA. But can you use him as a wing that can really handle the rock and create for you? You know what I'm saying? That's what I would be looking at. Exactly. Like a Lamar Odom. I mean, you talk about playing positionless basketball. If you can have a point guard that's 6'6", and then you can have your shooting guard that's 6'6", and then you get a small forward that's between 6'7" and 6'9", right? And then you have another small forward that's, a young guy like that possibly comes off the bench one day that's 6'9", 6'10", that can create like a point guard, so he can grab the rebound and run the break legitimately, not just get the ball up the floor and pass it off to someone, but can legitimately get the ball up the floor and look to create for someone else. I mean, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I'm real high on him. I'm real high on him. Like, even if we somehow could move down and get a second pick, that's something I would look into.
Right. Yeah.
Because that's acquiring talent. You know what I mean?
Right.
And assets. So I was thinking about this whole Trae Young thing that a lot of people have been harping on, and I do see he could definitely fit working side by side with Frank. I mean, that's that. If we get him, we're gonna have to really build a defensive team around him. Now, if you look at that's why it works with Golden State with Steph, because everybody else on the team is a good to great defender. But you also look at these playoffs, and you notice more than ever before, they're going at Steph, and they're exposing him. I mean, last series it happened. It's happening this series as well. As far as people go for the switch and expose the mismatch.
Right.
So you better believe that's going to be what's going to happen to Trae Young immediately, often. I mean, it happened to him in college, and you see how it changed his stats a little bit. But if we can get him with Frank and KP coming back, and if we got a guy like Kawhi Leonard, whether it be Kawhi Leonard or just like a definite defensive wing, I could see it working and see it working well. But that's the only way it's gonna work. We're gonna have to have straight lockdown defenders all around them.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Now, he may not be a good defender right now. I'm not ready to say he's not going to be a good defender though. One day.
It's gonna be tough though.
You know.
I won't sit here and say that Steph's not a good defender, because he is, but he's small.
But he's small. True.
Like there's nothing you can really do to offset that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like is once you have that disadvantage, it's really nothing you could do. You could play the best defense in the world. If the guy's bigger and stronger,
true,
he's gonna go right over you or right through
you. Right.
you know?
True.
So I mean,
right.
it really doesn't matter how great he could be, a great defender. If he's physically unable to defend, then that changes things.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. I get it for sure.
I mean, it could work. We're just gonna have to really have defenders around them. I was reading a stat today too with KP and Frank's numbers on the floor together, and we were actually in the top of the league with those two when those two were on the floor together.
Yeah.
As with KP's leading the league with the rim protection and shots at the rim, and Frank with his pick and roll defense.
Right. And you know, so, they didn't get a chance to play enough together last year.
Yeah, it was only like 280 something minutes or something like that.
They didn't get a chance to play enough last year. I can't wait until they can actually get together and hoop with each other. You know what I mean? 'Cause they need to. They need to be able to play. They need to be able to play together. They need to be able to get out there and hoop together. They just don't. And then now KP is hurt. It's going to take time for him to come back. You know, once he gets back, it's going to be around December or something like that. That's what I'm assuming. Then they gotta get in. They need to get that working together. And, you know, hopefully the second half of next year, they really get a chance to work together. You know what I mean? And hopefully they really get a chance to work together and start developing that chemistry, you know?
Yep. And that's why I'm still like stuck on the whole Knox thing. He fits that whole role as far as long, athletic. You know, he's young. He can play defense. Same thing with this Isaac kid. He's super long. I don't know if he's that athletic, but he has a good IQ. But I think that's what's gonna separate us, man. We're gonna be very challenged going after small guys, regardless of the position. If we're gonna stick with that positionless basketball, we're gonna need guys that could defend multiple positions,
Right.
and only have maybe one liability out on the floor at a time.
Yeah.
So I'm sticking with long defensive guys.
Yeah.
Or long two-way plays.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
I feel you, man.
like Isaac, man.
And yeah, long, long guys, and that's where this guy Isaac Bonga could come in as a second round pick. One of those long, one of these long guys. One of these long guys that can hopefully get it on the defensive end of the floor. But can create for you offensively.
What the protocol is on. Excuse me.
What'd you say?
No, I was wondering what's the protocol on buying picks, because like last year I was like hoping we would be in that market for buying picks, and they actually said they were looking into it. Well, I don't understand like how it doesn't get done, especially when other teams end up buying picks.
I mean, I think
like, do you got to get on the phone and call every team? Like, listen, we're interested. Or is it a favoritism thing or a favor? Like,
yeah, I guess you just got to get the team to be able to sell you a pick. Like the Knicks, they bought the pick for Billy Hernangomez. They bought it from the 76ers. Then the 76ers drafted Billy Hernangomez. I think you just got to get someone to agree to sell you the pick.
But do you think there's politics behind it? Like, no, I'm not going to sell the Knicks a pick.
Oh,
but
yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
It's got to be.
I mean, in that aspect, I mean, I know certain people didn't want to deal with Phil Jackson at a certain point. I know that. But I want to say he was gone before. No, he wasn't actually.
No, he drafted. He drafted Hernangomez.
Yeah.
Hey, Tony. Mighty Knicks gave you a shout out. He said Tony's on fire tonight. I agree with him 100%.
No doubt. Shout out to Mighty. Shout out to the chat. Yo, Blackest Time. Sim, keep doing your thing. I'll catch you next time.
Peace, man. Thank you for the call. Appreciate it.
No doubt, brother.
Peace. Yeah, good call. Always a good call from my man Tony Crow. You know what I mean? But Isaac Bonga. We're talking about Isaac Bonga. We had a few videos of him up. He really does intrigue me, guys. He really intrigues me. His length, his ability to be a wing that can truly create, almost like Giannis. You know what I mean? That really does intrigue me. And someone that we could possibly get this guy in the second round. You know what I'm saying? That really does. That's something that just, yeah, I would love to see that happen. You know what I mean? And then the kid is 18 years old. So if he's 6'10" now, he might grow to be 7 foot by the time it's all said and done. And then you got a 7-foot point guard that can come down and create for you. Some people think this guy has the ability or the chance or the talent to be that surprise second round pick that becomes a star in the NBA. Because from when they say he's really truly a point guard. Not just a 6'10" guy that can handle the ball, but he really does run the offense. He really does, do some things like that. I don't know. I mean, maybe he goes. I see Germ Warfare. You asked the question about him being a second rounder. I don't know. He might go late first round. Maybe he does go late first round. I'm gonna say it is possible, but he probably will be gone by second. He's someone who really does intrigue me, and I would really like to see him somehow go to the Knicks. Definitely not at 9. You know what I mean? But I would somehow like to see he's it's going to be a project. It's not going to be a point guard in the NBA. He's. I don't think so. Maybe he will. I don't know. When you look at who he's playing right now, the talent level is going to be so much higher, even if he goes into the G League, excuse me. But I would really like to see this guy somehow land with the Knicks. I would. And if he's going to go in the late first round, then maybe there's some way we can pull something off. I don't know. Mighty Knicks, thank you for the super chat. He said, Bonga pushes the ball. That's exactly what we need. Yeah, we do. And to be able to push the ball from almost any position on the floor, that's something that most teams just aren't going to have. If we can get this guy at if we can get him, then of course he's going to need a little while to develop. But you have him at the 3, because he can handle the ball. Have him at the 3. KP at the 4. Then we have a long 5. I don't know. Will he develop to be what some people think he can be? That's the question. Maybe, maybe not. If you can get him low enough, he's definitely worth the chance. That's without a doubt. Definitely worth the chance. Jason M., you said, I'd prefer Jared Vanderbilt over Bonga. Not sure who Jared Vanderbilt is. I'll have to take a look at Jared Vanderbilt, and maybe we can talk about him in the next show. I feel like there are a lot of possibilities in this draft. A lot of possibilities, a lot of things that we can make happen. I think I think it's there. I definitely think it's there. We've just got to hopefully Scott Perry, Steve Mills, they're out there beating up the phones, trying to make some things happen. I love New York. You say, if we grab Bonga, then what do we do with Frank? See, I don't think that would be an issue, because if we're talking about, we keep talking about positionless basketball, right? It doesn't mean that he has to run a point guard spot. Doesn't mean he has to be our point forward. What it would say to me is that now you have players where, if let's just say we did get Bonga, and Bonga was got the rebound, he can lead the break, right? Or you can have certain sets that are set up for him to run the offense. It doesn't mean that he has to be the primary ball handler. If you got guys, if you have a 1, a 2, and a 3, and even a 4 that can initiate the offense, that's an advantage for your team. You know what I mean? Now, I see, what's your name? Yahoo. Hopefully I said your name right. Hopefully I didn't butcher your name too bad. You said Bonga might be a purer point guard. Not sure. You know what? That could be the case. That could be the case. But I still feel like if you know how to play the game of basketball, and you if you know how to play the game of basketball, and you, even if you're at the 3 position, just because you don't always have the ball in your hand, you still know how to play, and you still know how to create. And when you do get the ball, you can create. You know what I mean? Especially, I think, if you're a point guard, if you're really a true point guard, I think, when you're a point guard, you know everyone's position on the floor. You understand what everyone has to do. You know what I mean? And I think if you're a pure point guard, then you are able to, you're able to play off the ball a little bit, because you understand that position and what needs to be done. And if you have a bunch of guys on the floor that are willing to, like the way that Golden State plays, right? They're willing to distribute the ball, move the ball, then you don't have to worry about one guy being upset that they're not the primary ball handler or anything like that. I don't know. It's a chance that I'm willing to take if it's a low risk. You know what I mean? Definitely. But that's what positionless basketball is all about. That's what positionless basketball is about. And a guy like this gives you the chance to play positionless basketball. So we'll see what happens. He's definitely not a guy. You say Bonga might be tough. Yeah, he might be. He's definitely not going to be a guy that we're going to take at the 9th pick, I don't think, because he's going to be there later in the draft. But can we get a later draft pick? That's my question. Now, I look at like Atlanta, man. Atlanta has 3 draft picks. I wish we had those. I don't know how we get them. You know what I mean? I don't know how we get him. Clever for sure. You say Frank is 6'6", with a 7'2" wingspan. He can play 1 through 3 if he can start knocking down shots. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And if you had a guy like Bonga that can also run the point guard spot or just initiate the offense, can handle the ball, initiate the offense, right? And he can play the 1 through the 3 as well at 6'10". That's that's crazy. And that's everything that we dream about. That's everything that we want. Just will we have a chance to get him at that 36 spot? That's the question that I'm asking. Will we have a chance to get him at 36? And that might be pushing it a little bit, right? But here, here's our boy Frank, getting his few workouts in, looking bigger, looking stronger, looking faster, working out with Brinkley, and listen, man, when Frank gets a little bit bigger, and his strength matches his size, it's gonna be tough. I don't care what anyone says. It's gonna be tough. People can say what they want. He's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. Fritz, you say Knicks want to lock down 5 solid starters. Yep, definitely. That's what we need. And that's what we want. We want to lock down 5 solid starters. Clever for sure. You said we like Chandler, but he won't be available with our 2nd round pick. Now he won't. I think Chandler Hutchinson he has a commitment from the Portland Trail Blazers, right? So he definitely won't be there at that pick. If we want to get him, we'd have to take him at the 9th pick, or if we were able to pull that 14th pick, take him at the 14th pick, or something like that, or if we got another pick somewhere before 23, because I think the Blazers got the 23rd pick. If we would, so if we really wanted that guy, if we really wanted Hutchinson, then, we got to get him before 23. But, yeah. I mean, imagine, hey, I look at Frank and what we just seen in that video. I look at some of the videos that I seen with Isaac Bonga. Of course, he's young guy. Someone that if you can snatch up a steal in the 2nd round, then man, and if he develops like people think he can develop, that'd be something really tough to have. That'd be tough. And Yahoo said at the beginning of the season, Frank was taller than Dotson and Lee, who are 6'5". So Frank has been 6'6" for a bit. Hopefully he can get 6'7", 6'8". Just imagine that. Imagine if Frank was 6'7" and 6'8", and then we got a guy like that who, like Bonga, who is 6'9", 6'10", that can also run the guard spot. That's lethal. But that's the way the game is going. That is the way that the game is going. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we should look to build. That's how we should look to build. That's what Scott Perry said he wants to do. And I think that's the right move. Right? That's the right move. NBA rumors. I haven't really been able to see too much what's going on out there. And I seen you guys put some people in the chat to look up. I'll look them up and we can talk about them in the next show because it's getting late. I'm not gonna be able to do it tonight because it's getting pretty late. But not too many new rumors out. Of course, we know about Danny Ainge trying to move up and get Mo Bamba. We know about the Nuggets trying to trade that 14th pick. Right now everything is about the draft. I thought that maybe, I had NBA rumors on there. I don't know if you guys know of any rumors that's out there that I need to be looking up, researching, and following, just to see what's happening, see what's popping, see what's going on. But right now, there's nothing too new going on. Nothing that we don't know about. But Fritz, you say Celtics will trade Rozier. Probably if they're able to move up to get Mo Bamba, then yeah, they'll probably trade Rozier. I don't think they're gonna trade Jaylen Brown. You know what I'm saying? Ian Ernest, you say the Clippers are interested in Michael Porter Jr. Which means they might be trying to move up. And that's interesting. Toronto may explore options when it comes to DeMar DeRozan. That's something that I think is... Listen, Toronto's got to do something. They just don't have it. They're like the Atlanta Hawks from a few years back. Right? The Hawks would get 60 wins relentlessly. Every year, 60 wins, but couldn't budge in the playoffs. Toronto are the same team. Same thing. Same way. They've got to look to do something. If I'm the Knicks, I wouldn't touch DeMar DeRozan. I'm really not a DeMar DeRozan. I don't know. He's okay. I'm not crazy about him. I'm not sure what his salary is. But I wouldn't touch DeMar DeRozan at all if I'm the Knicks. I'd stay away from him. Continue on the path that we're going. But I'd be interested. It's interesting to see that, he's someone that they could consider moving. Or would consider moving. I don't know. I don't know about DeMar DeRozan. I mean, DeMar DeRozan, I know why they consider moving him. Listen, if you look at Toronto's salary between DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry, and they got ousted in the first round of the playoffs. Lowry makes made $28.9 million this year. Makes 31 next year. 33 the year after that. DeMar DeRozan, 27.7 this year. 27.7 next year. 27.7 all the way up until 2021. That's a lot of money that they're paying just these two guys, and they didn't advance out of the first round of the playoffs. Look at Serge Ibaka. He's making $23 million up until 2020. These guys really thought that they were going to win a championship with these guys, with them three. Then you got, Jonas. His contract's not too bad. But yeah, they need to make some moves. They need to do something. They $116 million payroll, and they got ousted in the first round of the playoffs. Yeah, they got to do something. There's no way that they can keep. There's no way. They got to do something. But if I'm the Knicks, I stay away from DeRozan, even if they're looking to move DeMar DeRozan. Like I just seen someone say DeMar DeRozan looks kind of weak. I agree. I think he's a good, a good third wheel type of guy. Third wheel type of guy is what I think of him. Yeah. But listen, guys, It's 1:20 in the morning. Thank you guys for sticking around, even through some of the mistakes that I made as far as muting you guys out and those type of things. I appreciate you guys for staying with me. I'm about to head off for the night. I will be back on. Let me see the Knicks. Not the Knicks. We play. I mean the the finals. Next game is Wednesday night. Sunday. I'll be on Wednesday night after the finals game. All right. If anything happens in between then, I don't know. Maybe I jump on Tuesday night. Depends on what it's like. I know I got basketball practice tonight. Basketball practice tomorrow. Well, tonight is Monday. Basketball workouts, skill and agility building on Tuesday night. And then Wednesday I'll be back in the basketball practice, but I'll definitely be on after the game on Wednesday. All right, I will definitely be here. If you guys have some people that we want to cover for that second round, put them in the comments. All right, or you can @ me on Twitter or Instagram, and we'll look them up and we'll have them prepared. And I want to have a good session of just talking about prospects on Wednesday. I mean, just talk about different prospects that could be out there and pique you guys' brains a little bit. You know what I'm saying? BN, you said it was probably better that I muted CP the artist anyway. Whoa, okay, CP's gonna be back to get you on that one. I think I seen you say that earlier too. He's gonna be back to get you on that one, my man. All right, hey guys, I'm out. Remember, if you have any comments about players second round, even first round players that you just wanna you want to talk about and discuss, leave them in the comment section. Talk to me in the comment section. We'll look them up. We'll talk about them a little bit and keep preparing for this draft. Keep the good chatter going, preparing for this draft. Appreciate you guys. I'm out for this evening. I'll see you guys Wednesday night. Have a good one. Have a good week. Peace. If you enjoyed this stream, please subscribe below. Ring the bell. Get a notification anytime that I'm live. Follow us all summer long. And then into the season as we talk about the draft, free agency, Knicks news, rumors, NBA rumors. Peace, y'all. Have a good week. I'll see you Wednesday night, 11:30. Peace.